Hello everyone, welcome to This Day. It is Friday, August 15th. Gosh, we're halfway through the month already. Can you believe it? I'm your host, Bree Cox Kennedy. I know you're probably expecting Michael, but I'm filling in for him this week. He should be back next week. Nonetheless, I have a great show lined up for you today. On today's show, we have Comedy Club with Phil Chait. He's always got lots of jokes to tell. And then later in the show, we've got a quick interview with one of the Ting associates, and of course, followed up by our own Sports Corner and Cole Young. So stay tuned for the entire show because you're not going to want to miss any segment of it. But first, folks, we always love to keep you informed. AARP is bringing its Smart Driver Course Refresher to Laguna Woods on Saturday, August 16th from 8:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. in Clubhouse 2 Revilla Room. This one-day class is designed for drivers age 50 and older who have completed a Smart Driver course within the past 3 years. If you're new to the program, you can take the full version online at aarpdriversafety.org. AARP members pay just $20 and non-members are $25. You'll get a discount by providing your membership number when reserving your spots. So to register, contact the Recreation Office, call 949-597-4273, or you can also email them at recreation@vmsinc.org. Checks should be made payable to AARP. Let's take a look at our 5-day weather forecast, folks. I don't know if you could tell by my top, but I'm really trying to channel my inner sunshine and bring it over to you guys. We are heading into a gorgeous stretch here in the village. Friday starts off cool with some morning clouds, and then we hit a mild 76 degrees before dipping into the low 60s overnight. Saturday stays light and breezy in the mid-70s, and Sunday warms up to a pleasant 79 under hopefully sunny skies. Looking ahead to the start of the week, Monday and Tuesday will crank things up, climbing into the mid-80s. I don't know, we'll wait and see. Hopefully we'll stay there through Wednesday, though, if it does come. Looks like perfect beach or pool weather could be on the horizon. Sunrise this morning was at 6:13 a.m. Sunset will be at 7:36 p.m. Not only does Cole announce the Sports Corner, but he obviously is a very good photographer as well. Thank you, Cole. Looks like a fun surf day in Newport Beach. If you'd like to send us your photos, I'd love to share them. Please email those to us at lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. Please send us your name, where the photo was taken from, and of course, in a horizontal format, please. Next up, we've got just one meeting to tell you about before we come back from the break with Comedy Club.
"21 years ago, I started Salus Home Care because I saw a need for a professionally run home care organization in Laguna Woods. We've been in business for 21 years. Call Salus and let us show you why we've been in business longer than any other home care company in South Orange County."
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Are you getting ready to laugh? Well, you should. I've got the Comedy Club here with me today with Phil Chait. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
You are always sure to bring some comedy relief
I hope.
the show.
I hope.
Today being nonetheless. Tell me about this upcoming event that you have, because apparently this is a big name.
It is. This show is the one that usually sells out. It's Fritz Coleman, who is the weatherman for Channel 4 for, they said 40 years. I didn't realize it was that long, but for a long time. So he was a weatherman, and he's very well known, and he's been here quite a few times, and he always draws a sellout crowd. He has, clean comedy, very funny, but clean, no political, none of that stuff, so it's all good. People love it. So, I mean, that's the event we have, and as I said, if you want to come, you should. As I said, you probably have to get there early because we're going to probably sell out.
So he's been involved, well, he's had a long career
Yes.
in the entertainment industry, from The Tonight Show to Jay Leno to Johnny Cash. I mean,
Yeah, they're all
He
the gamut of late night
spans.
shows. Yeah.
wow.
So
Where do you think he draws his inspiration from?
honestly, I don't know where most of these comedians get their inspiration from, but he just has so much experience and been around and tested all his material. So he always comes with a good show. As I said, people enjoy it. That's why, as I said, every year he comes, we usually sell out because people know what to expect. And as I always tell everybody, the admission is $10, and you get coffee and dessert and over an hour of laughs. I mean, I don't think you get a better deal than that anywhere around. So that's what we offer. So it's a great night. You can come with your friends, bring dinner, get a table, because the show, we open up at 5:30, and the show starts promptly at 7. And I know that because I open it, so I know it starts at 7.
So you
and we'll
know
have a
it's gonna
GRF
start.
bar there also. So it's just a fun night. Bring your friends, and as I said, you'll be laughing all night. So it's a good show. Good show.
Sounds very fun. Do they need to RSVP?
No, and that's it. We don't have any membership, so it's just come to the door and pay at the door.
Okay, and that's going to take place Thursday, August 28th.
Right. It's always, our shows are always the fourth Thursday of the month, except for November, because Thanksgiving is the fourth Thursday, so it's the third. But otherwise, every month is the fourth Thursday.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I know you're going to have a sold-out show there.
Well, if the history repeats itself, yes, we will.
So you've got more shows lined up.
Yeah, we have the comedians lined up for September and November. I'm still working on October, but in September, we have Monica Piper with Wendy Liebman, and both these women are very accomplished comedians. They've had their own shows on Showtime. Wendy was a finalist on America's Got Talent. They've been on all the late night shows, Leno, Fowler, all of them. And Monica's been around for years. She has her own show up in Santa Monica and others. So they're all very popular, well-known comedians, and they're great. And in November, we have Kathy Ladman and Stephanie Blum. And Stephanie's been here before, and she's a great act. Kathy's also she's a writer. She's written for TV shows. She's been stand-up for years, and again, all the late nights. So both of them are very accomplished. So this is like the first time, though, we're having two comedians or women on a show. So we're going to have it twice. So I'm sure it's going to be a great show. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, back to back, right? So that's September and November?
Yeah, I just have to get a man to separate them. I just for the heck of it. But I'm just saying, but this is the first time we've had a double feature of women, and it's going to be a great show. It's going to
Sounds
be really
like
good.
it. Sounds like some very serious talent.
Yeah, no, and it's amazing how these people who don't need the money, I guess they don't need the money, but are very popular, get paid very well, they're willing to come down here for less because they just love, they heard about the audiences here, they know that it's a very receptive audience, everyone has fun, and they just enjoy coming down here. They may come to try out some new material, but they just enjoy coming down here. And I get calls all the time. They call me, I don't always call them, they call me to speak to them. So as I said, it's very encouraging that people want to come down here and perform. So it's a very good thing.
So the Comedy Club of Laguna Woods Village is getting quite the reputation.
Yeah, the name's getting out there, as I said. And you have to remember, like the clubs out there hold usually 100 people, 150 people. We hold 500. So typically our average audience, not with Fritz, but our average audience, except for Fritz, is usually about 300 and change. So they usually don't play to audiences that side unless they're in a big theater or arena, so they like that. And as I said, it's a very receptive audience, and they do their 45 minutes to hour show, and to them it's a great deal. They enjoy it, and they like doing it, so we enjoy having them, so it works for everyone.
Wow.
Win-win.
And you get to open for every single one of
Yeah, I
these
get to
acts?
tell my 10 minutes of wife jokes and all the other kind of stuff. My wife, luckily, I tell her beforehand so she doesn't get mad at me when I'm doing it, but I tell her wife jokes and some other jokes I've heard. You know, I'm not a comedian, but I just, I pull what I can, but it's really ironic when I look back on my scripts. Every joke I tell starts with an elderly man, an older woman, an older couple. Now, I really realize that every one of my jokes starts like that.
Is
An
that
older
right?
couple, an older man, an older woman. I go, I guess that's the Laguna Woods getting affected me. But yeah, it works well. And as I said, I usually do the first 8 to 10 minutes, and then I introduce the acts.
People can relate to that, right?
I hope so. I hope so. As I said, we've had a great reception. The audiences have been great. We've had some really good performers here, and they've given the standing ovations. So they enjoy it. And as I said, for $10, I always tell people, even if you hate the comedian, you still got coffee and dessert. It's not that bad. But that's not the point of coming to our show. But people really enjoy it. So it's a good show.
Actually saving money for $10, right?
Probably all these days, as I said.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's fun. I'm enjoying doing it. And as I said, it's just good people. And I work with my board everyone's together, and our only goal is to make everyone happy, because everyone has little issues here, there, whatever else. And I had many people tell me that after the show, it helped them because it helped them forget what was going on and just they felt good laughing. And I mean, I had a text from a woman the other day that asked me if to send her my script. She said she liked it so much, and her daughter couldn't make it, and her daughter's running through some issues, so she wanted to be able to read the script to her daughter or whatever else. So I'm more than happy to do that. So I mean, it's just those are the kind of things we like when people feel good after the show. That's the main. We're not doing it to make money. We're a nonprofit. So we just are doing it to make people happy, and so far I think it's working.
That's fantastic, Phil.
Yeah,
I
I
love
think
to
it's
hear
working.
that. It
Yeah.
releases endorphins, right?
Yeah, that's what I said.
feel like
Laughing is the
chemical.
best medicine. So yeah, as I said, and
100%.
they get a good show. As I said, everyone does a good show, and I'm expecting now with Fritz, and then with the other ladies after that, it's going to be a really good show. So I'm encouraging everyone to show up. As I said, it's every fourth Thursday. Doors open 5:30. Show starts at 7.
Okay. And you're still actively seeking members for the comedy club, right?
Well, there's no members.
There's no members for the
We
comedy
don't
club.
know. There's no members for the comedy club.
did
It's
I not
all
know
no. The bocce club has the membership.
The Bocce Club.
That's my other club. But yeah, no. The comedy club is no membership. It's just pay at the door as you come in. So that's why, as I said, people. We didn't feel like we needed to do that. We don't want people to feel obligated. If they want to come, they'll show up. So
Yeah.
as I said, that's the way we felt.
So, Phil, do you ever seek anybody out within the community to help you out
Actually,
on
I've had a
stage?
couple of them contact me. I'm thinking one time I have to get approval from my board of doing an open mic night just from residents of Laguna Woods.
fun.
I mean, we'd have to audition them first because I don't want people going up there just whatever. But I mean, we may try one time just opening up first like half hour, have people come up and tell 10 minutes of their jokes and whatever else. Their neighbors show off and all that kind of stuff. So I mean,
I think that'd be
that's something we're
great.
probably going to look into doing is an open mic night, if you want to call it that. So I think then they bring their friends and family, so it works for everybody.
Come with
So,
your
yeah.
own jokes.
Yeah, just telling jokes. And as I said, we'll just have to audition them first, just to make sure they're on the, because the one thing we don't allow it in the show is profanity and
Which I
politics.
love. Oh my gosh.
Because so those, I tell the performers specifically before the show, none of this and none of that,
Yep.
and otherwise you're fine.
Yep.
And so far they've followed it, and it's been a great show, so it's all good.
Yeah. Well, I certainly appreciate that. I've been to the improv a couple of times. Sometimes it's great, and sometimes that's all it's about. And
I
for
know.
me, it just I would
And
rather go home.
Clean comedy can be fun also.
Absolutely.
So I mean, yeah. So no, they've adhered to it pretty well. So they stick pretty well to that script, and so far it's worked well. It's going to stay like that.
and so it's proven that can actually
Yeah.
work.
Oh, yeah.
And be very effective. And
Yeah, I
you
never
don't have
threatened them saying, well, if you do it, I'm not going to pay you because I can't do that. But I'm just saying. But they've adhered to it very well, so it's been good. It's been a good show.
Fantastic. Do you have a lineup for 26 already?
No, but I have people in mind. I'm going to try to land a couple big names. I mean,
Really?
big names. I'm working on it.
Like
but I
bigger
don't have
than
more-
Fritz?
Yeah. But I want nothing. No, don't get in trouble with Fritz. Nothing. Fritz is very big, but I'm just saying, just more in the comedy world that's been around for years. So we're speaking to them. You never know. As I said, I always tell somebody, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Yeah.
So right now I don't have them, and if afterwards I don't have them, I'm not any worse off. So
Sure.
hopefully we'll be able to do it. So I try to get as big as I can, big names, and we'll see what happens.
Sounds great. All right. You want to close out with any jokes?
No.
Oh.
All right, I'll tell one joke. I'll tell one joke.
I like the peaches.
And I'm going to start with an older woman. Oh, you want the peaches one?
I like the peaches one.
All right, I'm going to tell the peaches one for you.
Okay.
Okay. A couple are shopping in a supermarket, and as they're leaving, the security guard stops them because the wife apparently has taken a can of peaches without paying for it. So the security guard said to her, I'm going to have to give you a citation, and you'll have to show up in court to explain that. So 2 weeks later, the woman shows up in court, and the judge says, I see you've taken a can of peaches. Why did you do that? She goes, well, I was hungry, whatever. He goes, well, that's not a reason. He says, how many peaches were in the can? And she says, 6. He goes, okay, then I'm going to give you a day in jail for every one of those peaches. And she goes, so right before he pronounced the sentence, the husband stands up and says, Your Honor, may I say something? And the Honor says, okay, go ahead. He goes, she also stole a can of peas. That's my one joke.
See, that's great. Love it. Phil, thank you so much for joining us with the Comedy Club.
Yep, thank you very much for having us, and
everybody
hope to
laugh
see everyone
today?
there. Thank you.
All right. You're watching This Day on Village TV. We'll be back after these messages.
For over 20 years, Orange County has taken its unwanted gold, jewelry, timepieces, sterling silver, and coins to the Jewelry Box estate buyers and always received top dollar. Come see why for over 2 decades, Orange County has relied on the Jewelry Box estate buyers.
Folks, the future of internet is here. It's called Ting, and I want to welcome Construction Program Manager Alex Ackerman to our program. Thanks for joining us today.
Of course, thanks for having me.
So let's talk about what you do in terms of as a construction program manager. Are you running the teams that are out there in the fields doing the kind of the day-to-day work?
Yeah, exactly. Just organizing the project from a whole, ensuring crews are where they need to be and doing the work in a quality and professional aspect.
Now, when I do work at my house, I'm in charge of everything from A to Z. Now, do you have specialized crews for different things that they're doing, that they have that kind of a service area expertise?
Yeah, exactly. We have crews going to be working specifically in things that they're the experts of. So we have outside plant, we've got construction for doing certain bore aspects, and then we've got installation crews, all being managed by people that can understand and get the work done properly.
Okay, so I imagine you're in a control center with a bunch of screens around you all the time doing this kind of thing. But no, are you out in the field and kind of in the office? Is a little bit of both?
Yeah, definitely probably a 60-20 split, but a lot of it be in the field to ensure that this project goes smooth and ensure that quality's upheld to the highest satisfaction.
Now, you're from around here. You actually had working on a project up kind of in North County area or a little north of us, and now you're here in Aliso Viejo, so you're going to be on the ground all the time for this, right?
Yeah, exactly. Did work in Culver City, but now down here in Orange County, which is awesome. Looking forward to being on site every day. So that'd be the big plus is being instead of being remote, because that can have its disadvantages. So we want to be close to the project 24/7.
Now, what's the advantage of like this conduit already kind of being throughout this community? Is it going to make this job just so much easier than the usual installs you guys do?
Yes, the biggest thing, especially in this industry, is pathway. Creating pathway is always something that comes with a lot of variables that you really can't control. A lot of stuff with weather, or earth conditions, stuff like that. Having the open conduit that runs throughout the entire facility or Laguna Woods Village is a huge plus, because it allows us to kind of expedite the process and use what's already there and not have to bore in or do any extra work with it. So it's a huge plus.
Okay. Now, in terms of quality control, you're laying fiber, you're connecting to homes, you have the central plant you're taking everything from. How do you know before you put the dirt all back up on top and put the grass back on or all things to do that everything's working? What kind of quality control is involved in that?
A very high level of quality. It's something that's very important to myself and the company, but we actually have a company that's going to be doing QA/QC specifically on every item that they do, whether it's a vault, pulling fiber, anything of that aspect, which will be checked by our vendor that's doing it, and then same with the quality team that's going to be underneath the construction management company that then flows to us. So it's basically a triple check system with photos, and all of it has certain standards that have to be met, or else it will not pass quality.
So there'll be 3 different kind of groups kind of touching that and saying, okay, this is working as it's supposed to be before we close everything up and move on to the next project.
Exactly, yeah. And we always make sure that it gets done right. And the biggest thing too is if something comes up, you know, for an example, if we had to put some sod around a newly placed handhole, sometimes that sod might not take, but we come back right away and make sure to replace that and put brand new sod, ensure that it's growing and everything looks like we were never there besides the box.
What's the most important thing when you come into especially a retirement community like this, where people, you know, they have their ways, they're set, they're not a big fan of change in the first place? How do you respect that and still kind of get the work done in a timely manner?
I think the biggest thing is understanding that, you know, we're not coming in to take over. We're coming in to work with you on everything. So trying to assist people, answering their questions, and kind of work alongside them, help them out, kind of give or take system, will really make it a smooth build. So ensuring that we're catering to the residents and helping them with anything they need to know, answering questions, polite, making sure that we're basically just being kind of in the community with the community, essentially.
All right. Well, Alex Ackerman, he's a construction program manager. Thanks for taking the time to talk with us today, and I'll get back out in the field and do some work. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Like I said, folks, Ting is here. It's our new internet service and so much more. Hope you're enjoying these conversations right here on Village Television.
Hello and welcome to this Friday's episode of Sports Corner. I'm Cole Young, and with football season just on the horizon, we're about to have plenty to discuss. But for now, there isn't a ton going on in the sports world, but we still have some important topics to cover, so I'll get right to it. A major announcement was made surrounding combat sports. Since 2019, the UFC has had a broadcast deal with ESPN, meaning fights were broadcast on ESPN, ESPN Plus, and other ESPN networks. So to watch one of the big name events or title fights, you'd have to subscribe to ESPN Plus and pay for the pay-per-view event. So for the subscription, it was roughly $13 a month and an extra $80 per event you wanted to watch. For example, if you wanted to watch just one major UFC fight per year, it would cost you roughly $235. Earlier this week, UFC broadcasting was forever changed. UFC, Paramount, and CBS came to a contract agreement for the next 7 years worth $7.7 billion. That means pay-per-view as we know it is over. Starting in 2026, all UFC events, including 13 numbered shows and 30 fight nights, will be included as part of a normal subscription with Paramount Plus. Select numbered events will also be simulcast on CBS. Instead of paying $12.99 per month and $79.99 per event to watch a fight, all you would need starting in 2026 is a Paramount Plus subscription, which is only roughly $7.99 a month. This is a huge moment for fans, but also for the UFC. Since it'll be exponentially easier and significantly cheaper to watch major events now, the sport as a whole will grow. For now, though, the current pay-per-view system remains in place. And this weekend is another major fight. Middleweight champ Dricus du Plessis looks to defend his place atop the division as he faces off with unbeaten Khamzat Chimaev in the UFC 319 main event. Du Plessis earned his second successful title defense earlier this year by defeating former champ Sean Strickland, which extended Du Plessis' record to 9-0 in the UFC and 23-2 overall. Chimaev, on the other hand, is currently 14-0 and is one of the fastest up-and-comers in the sport. The 31-year-old earned this first shot at a title belt last October after a shocking first-round submission for victory. This should be an incredibly competitive fight, and the main event will begin this Saturday at 7 p.m. The NFL preseason is still underway, and some players have made headlines. Cleveland Browns rookie fifth-round pick Shedeur Sanders made the most of his first debut. Sanders completed 14 of 23 passes for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns and added 19 rushing yards. He was on the field for 45 plays, and the Browns defeated the Carolina Panthers 30-10 in their preseason opener. The first overall pick in this year's draft, Cam Ward, looks very comfortable in the Tennessee Titans offense already. Time will tell if the Titans will become a competitor this season, but with a promising quarterback under center, there is at least hope. The 38th overall pick, running back Travion Henderson out of Ohio State, has already made waves for the New England Patriots. On the first play of their preseason game against the Washington Commanders on last Friday, Henderson returned the opening kickoff 100 yards for a touchdown. If there was ever a perfect way to cement yourself a spot on the roster, that's a pretty good way to do so. And lastly, this will be a major year for second-year quarterbacks. Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Caleb Williams, and Michael Penix Jr. are all facing a ton of pressure heading into their sophomore campaigns. While Nix and Daniels exceeded all expectations last season, all of these quarterbacks will be expected to elevate their level of play and lead their respective teams to the playoffs. College football begins in just a few weeks, and the first AP poll rankings were released earlier this week. Texas, Penn State, Ohio State, Clemson, and Georgia made up the top 5. Teams that had overachieved last season, like Arizona State, Illinois, SMU, Indiana, and Boise State, all found themselves back on the top 25 for now. While the preseason rankings don't necessarily have a whole lot of merit, it's still a good frame of reference to see who's supposed to be a top team heading into the new season. If you're a fan of a different sport, the Premier Lacrosse League playoffs begin next week. The bracket's set, and the top 6 teams will be competing for the championship trophy. The Maryland Whipsnakes, Philadelphia Water Dogs, California Redwoods, Carolina Chaos, New York Atlas, and Denver Outlaws. The Utah Archers won back-to-back titles in 2023 and 2024, but failed to make the playoffs this season. So, for the first time since 2022, a new champion will be crowned. The PLL playoffs will begin on the 23rd, so don't miss out on any of the lacrosse action. Two of our local Southern California MLB teams made headlines this week. The Dodgers and Angels met up for the 3-game Freeway Series in Anaheim earlier this week, and things went slightly different than anticipated. As a reminder, the Dodgers are one of the top 5 teams in baseball right now and are coming off of a World Series title. The Angels, on the other hand, have not made the playoffs in over a decade and are grasping at just a sliver of hope of making the playoffs this year. So, on paper, the Dodgers, by all means, should have swept the Angels this week. Back in May, in fact, the Angels swept the Dodgers in 3 games in LA. Now the Dodgers made their way to Anaheim looking for revenge. In Game 1, the Angels coasted off of a 7-0 lead and held off the Dodgers for a 7-4 win. In Game 2, the game headed to extra innings. After a dramatic comeback, Joe Adell hit a single to left field, Taylor Ward scored, and the Angels defeated the Dodgers again 7-6. While the game-winning walk-off single was exciting, it wasn't even the highlight of the night. In the top of the 6th inning with runners on first and second, Shohei Ohtani hit a line drive up the middle. Shortstop Zach Neto caught a line drive, landed on second base, and turned to make the throw to first, securing a triple play. This athletic play became part of history, as it was just the 8th triple play in Angels history. There have been only 739 triple plays in Major League Baseball since 1876, an average of just 5 per season. While 739 sounds like a lot, there's about 2,400 games played per season excluding the playoffs. So 739 in the last 150 years is pretty rare. In the 3rd game of the Freeway Series on Wednesday night, Shohei Ohtani took the mound and pitched for the Dodgers for a season-high 4 innings. The Dodgers quickly went up 3-0 in the top of the 1st and were up 5-4 in the bottom of the 8th. That's when Logan O'Hoppe delivered a 2-run RBI single, and the Angels swept the season Freeway Series with a 6-5 victory. While the Angels may not make the playoffs this season, going 6-0 against your rivals has to feel pretty good. On July 3rd, the Los Angeles Dodgers held a 9-game lead in the National League West with their 12th division title in 13 years, all but wrapped up. Since then, they have won only 12 of 33 games and have fallen into 2nd place in their division behind the San Diego Padres. The Padres are on the opposite trajectory, winning their 5th straight game with an 11-1 win and a series sweep over the division rival San Francisco Giants earlier this week. Both the division and all of the MLB is going to come to an exciting conclusion, so don't miss out on the action for the next month or two. With all that said, enjoy all of the preseason football, regular season baseball, lacrosse, soccer, UFC, and more that this weekend has to offer. Come right back next Friday for more news, updates, and highlights from all across the sports world. I'm Cole Young. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Let's take a look at the Friday and Saturday movie preview for you. Friday's movie is Strictly Ballroom. This is brought to us by Harvard Eye Associates. It's shown at 2 p.m. with subtitles and 6 p.m. without subtitles. Saturday's movie is The Sixth Sense. This is brought to us by RadNet. It's also shown at 2 p.m. with subtitles, 6 p.m. without subtitles. Tomorrow on This Day, we have Memorial Care and Pageant of the Masters. Have you gone yet this year? I encourage you to go. And that's going to do it for this episode of This Day. From all of us here, we wish yours a beautiful one, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow.